focused on those type of people. I love The Circle. I love the Saw movies. Those type of where 10 people are trapped in a room and they got to figure out why. Those are simple, entertaining movies I can watch on Netflix when I'm at my house and I'm just doing laundry. And that's what those movies are made for. Mm-hmm. And those are just so good.
Yeah, and I think it just comes down to that people just need to go into movies and just enjoy them for what they are and stop having expectations of what it should be and what it should not be. Why are you doing this to me? Just go in and just enjoy it. I feel like people want to live on social media and want to just bitch about everything, Step away for a second and go out and enjoy life and go see a movie and just sit back and relax and just take it all in.
So, guys, I want to get to our very first user-submitted question.
Ooh.
This hero of the Hold On to Your Butts podcast fan base.
Wait, do you have a name for him?
I do.
And we're going to just, yay, first one.
I do. The first one.
Exactly.
On Twitter as @Joe Diggity. @Joe Diggity
writes.
I
love @Joe Diggity.
Joe Diggity writes.
Mm-hmm.
Crew, love the show. First time writing. Also, let me assure you, you are the only person to write. So congratulations.
Love Joe Diggity.
Show. Love the show. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on remastered video games. Do you think they're a good idea? And do you think that you would spare the time to play them if you hadn't already played them? So I think what he's trying to say is, do we enjoy remastered video games? Do you guys get into playing those? Do you think it's worth it? Or do you think companies should be spending more time on new IPs and not rehashing?
I think it depends, though, on the title and the actual game, and if it had some value outside of that, and I want to replay it. I don't know. It just depends.
No, and so we're talking about remasters. This isn't something
like Halo,
that you just go onto the Nintendo Land and re-download the exact same game. This is they went in and upped the graphics. They put some thought into it. Halo 2 or their Master Chief Collection.
Gears of War Ultimate.
Yeah, and so that's a very good question because it's one thing to just, hey, for $5, here's Super Mario 3. We've done nothing to it. I mean, I think that's a very good thing is just, hey, I now have access to this game on my new consoles, to which my old consoles are either non-existent or not there.
Or they don't work.
Yeah.
Or incompatible.
So I now have that game and I can do that. That is great. But that's a very different story to a remastered version. And I think it is the company's trying to capitalize on
nostalgia again.
Yeah,
and
but
the love
is
of the
there
game.
something wrong with that? No, I don't believe so. I do enjoy, and maybe I don't enjoy one game, but I do enjoy, the Master Chief Collection. So I did get that. It didn't work at first, but I did get that, and I did enjoy it. I don't think there's. I do. I like it. I think they can do that, and it's not much of them to do, I don't believe. I don't think it's something that takes out of their time. Was it Bungie that did the Master Chief Collection?
No, it's 343.
343?
But obviously they're taking Bungie's old work and stuff.
Yeah, and so, I mean, why not? Like, for example, we played Halo 2. Brogan and I grew up playing Halo 2 multiplayer, and then now the 5 other games came after that. Now I can't play Halo 2 anymore because who's playing that anymore?
Well, one step further, even we grew up playing Halo 1 multiplayer online.
now we
there
can
was
do
a way.
that.
There was a way that we figured out how to. Did you ever hear about that? Where you could connect like a
GameSpy?
router to. Yeah, I think it was called GameSpy, and it was like you could connect a router to your original OG big Xbox and connect it to your computer, and then through your computer connection, you could actually play.
No, I didn't
link
know that.
play.
That's
on
crazy.
LAN.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a LAN play. It was fantastic. Oh my god, we had so much fun playing that because you could actually get a match of 16 people in the original Halo before there was Xbox
See,
Live.
that's where I would say that's awesome that they're going to reboot a game like that and make it better and make the graphics better, make the gaming better in general. Like because just because a game that you didn't like back in the day, someone else might have liked it and they want a reboot of that, specifically because they have a memory of playing it. Like if they brought back or 2K made an NFL game. Like I would definitely, even though that's not a reboot technically, I would definitely go out and buy that because of the nostalgia that I have by playing that and how much fun I had by playing it with my friends and stuff. Like going out and purchasing Halo again because it's an upgraded Halo for the Xbox One. If I did buy an Xbox, I would totally go buy that because it's just the fun that I had by playing that game is going to make me want to buy that.
I think I have a solution for how they could fix remastered video games.
Well, what's wrong with them?
Well, okay, here's what I think is wrong with them. I have really fond memories of playing Halo 2. I have really fond memories of playing Halo 2, but also I played Halo 2 back when I had time to play video games. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to play video games anymore, as much as I'd like to, or at least there's a lot of video games that are competing for my time and my attention, right? And a lot of those are new IPs that I want to try out, or sequels to currently running IPs, that I want to try, or like Zelda, or new games. But I still really enjoy those old games. I think what they should do, and they don't do this to my knowledge yet, but they just released that Batman Return to Arkham, which I love the Arkham Batman games. I think they're fantastic. I love them so much. Some of my favorite game series. But I think they should have it be like in old video games where you could decide like which level to play. Like I wish they would come out completely unlocked, so you could play every level and you could just jump into like a game of Halo 2 or like a campaign in Halo 2 and say, I really like that one part of the story. I'd like to go replay that, but I don't feel like putting in the 6 hours to get to that point. Because I have other things that I want to do. So I think it would be really interesting if remastered video games came out as like greatest hits, or even if they like just released.
What about online?
Yeah. I wonder if they would sell like episodes of Halo 2 online. If you wanted to play Halo 2 but you just wanted to play one thing, you could buy this thing for $3,
the whole streaming
like a song
service,
on iTunes.
Though that they have now, like for like PlayStation. What if they allowed you to do that? Like say you didn't want to like borrow the entire game, you don't want to download the entire game, but you want to download certain like snippets or scenes or whatever from the actual game itself.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
That would be
Xbox
awesome.
just announced the Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
The same sort of situation for Xbox. So that's interesting. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Well, thank you, Joe Diggity. That's a
really
great
good question.
Yeah.
That is a really good question. I honestly, you got to remember that video games are businesses, and can you really blame them for doing that?
No,
like
they're trying to make more money.
Nintendo does it. Microsoft does it. They all do it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, hey, I don't need the remastered. We can always just ignore it. But then since it comes out, I do want to talk about back when we used to play. This was really funny. When Brogan and I used to play in his basement, we had to do that LAN things with the original Xbox, not 360, but the original Xbox for Combat Evolved, Halo Combat Evolved. You had to be at the computer, which was on the other side of the room, not near his TV, and you had to hook up a LAN through his PC in like a small chat room. It was kind of very tough to set up a game. It took us a long time to set up a game with somebody random anywhere in the United States. It wasn't easy. They had to agree to your setup of how you wanted to play the game. Like, hey, we're going to do capture the flag, 3 captures, no time limit, no vehicles. And they're like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to do that type of gameplay.
So you'd have to sit in there and chat first?
Yeah, you'd have to
cool.
chit-chat with them. And then we would have to go across the room, play the game, and if we won, of course, we're immature high schoolers, we had to run back across the room like, you just got the dick. Fuck you just lost. You know what I mean?
Running back and forth.
And then before they log out, because you need to say something before they're like, well, fuck you guys. And then they'd have to log out. It was so funny to have to, we got to get over there, because like sometimes we would get, because obviously when we set up the game mode, we're like, this is something we're good at and we like to play. So if they came on and gave us a hard time or almost beat us in our game, like we had to let them know. We can't just say like, hey, good game, goodbye. It was so fun.
GG.
Yeah, it was. GG did not exist in Brogan's basement.
The other reason too, I think it's good for the industry is, you think about it, we're late 20s gamers, right? We're late 20s gamers, and we got to experience those games when they came out. But not all like gamers who just got to the party got to experience Halo 2. They've like heard of Halo 2 because they understand what it means to the industry. They've heard of Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Like the newest one. Yeah. Dude, I got the newest Call of Duty, and I got that remastered version. And I played the remastered version, and I absolutely fucking hated it.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh my god. Yeah. It was noob tube heaven. People just launching fucking nades everywhere. Yeah. And danger close, and you just it was fucking awful. I'm so pissed about that, though.
The kids that like didn't get to play those the first time around, but they've heard so many things about them from us, and like the video game industry is very nostalgic in general, and they talk about, Zelda Ocarina of Time is the greatest game of all time. Yeah. And those kids like weren't even born when Ocarina of Time came out. You know what I mean? And now they get a chance to play those games because of remasters, and
Well, I think the storyline. Don't get me wrong. The storyline in Call of Duty is really, really good. The Modern Warfare, but like the actual online play.
Yeah.
Well, the one
peer-to-peer
that's
is
a
awful.
good point, Brogan. Because have you ever tried to go back and you think, I grew up playing this game. I love this game. It's so great. And then you go back and play it, and sometimes you're like, dude, the graphics were so bad back then. Even though
or how much you sucked.
Yeah, you were like man. This was the controls were clunky because it's an old version or an old game, or the graphics were bad. That's really hard to sell to your kid or a 12-year-old that's came out now, like, hey, go back, play Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
They're like, really? I just got done playing Horizon Zero Dawn. You want me to play this garbage? And so, and they're like, dude, no, trust me, it's a good game. It's a great game. I'm like, I believe you, but this looks like garbage, and I'm not even going to try to do this. And then they do a remastered version. And so you can say that for now. Like, you know what? The Xbox graphics, we believe, were very, very good, but you compare them till now, and they're not anymore.
Oh,
and
going to my friend's house, like going from PS4, and he has an Xbox 360, and we play NBA 2K, and going and looking at that, it looks like you're playing a giant cartoon game. Like, it doesn't even look realistic at all compared to what's out
I
now.
feel the same way when people older than us talk about video games in the industry, and they're like, "Oh, Zelda: Link to the Past was the best game in the world." Then you look at it, it's just like a 2D top-down 8-bit game, and I'm like, I just can't get into those.
Yeah, and I
don't
believe
care
it
about
is.
those.
You're
I believe
right.
that. I believe you that it is. I believe Castlevania was a great game. I really do, but I can't get into
Or
it.
Doom.
But I even played that game. You know, I had Link to the Past. I had the gold cartridge for it, and I did enjoy it. And I've tried to go back and play it. I had it for my Wii. I downloaded it for my Wii on their Nintendo, and I'm like, ugh, I can't do it. But I mean, granted, how are you going to do a remastered of an 8-bit game? That's intense.
Yeah.
But
That would be insane if they actually
if they
remastered
did,
it
that'd
all
be
the
really
way.
cool. But it's like, I mean, how else are you going to get somebody to play these great games that have these stories that have already been told that are not going to get told if no one's going to play it? And so, if you want them to learn that story and be really, really into that lore or that story, remaster it.
So here's
There's nothing wrong.
Here's something that I've noticed, and let me know if you guys think that this is true or accurate. I know that, like, our generation, we get a bad knack for thinking that the world revolves around us, and it kind of does in a way. Like, do you think that all of these remasters we've talked a lot about on the show today, movies and video games that are being redone and rebooted and rehashed, it seems like the stuff that we liked when we were kids, and it feels like those are the things, like specifically our age range, late 20s, like the things that happened in the 90s, like early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, those are the things that are being revisited and rebooted. Why is that? Is that, do you think, partly because of like the internet and it's like easy to track the fan base back to its
how
earliest
cool
roots?
is the
or-
90s, man?
No, the
Fresh
90s.
Prince.
No, I think honestly,
Man,
just
That's
like
next.
a lot of like the storylines, like from those movies, like even Ninja Turtles, like what you were saying before, great story. You know, great story from the beginning. Like, so all these movies that they're remaking have a purpose. You know, it's not just like, and they want to make some money. But I feel like a lot of the stories are. It's hard to really define a new story. You know, a new movie in some way.
You know, that's a tough question because, like, I grew up in the 90s. I don't know if on the internet you guys seen some like memes or like lists that say like this if these 90s memorabilia kindles your childhood and they're coming out with some like crazy they come out with some new movies that are kind of crazy, and you look at it now and you're like, man, that is such a dumb thing. Why is a dumb movie? How did they come up with this cartoon? That sounds so stupid. I'm sorry, I don't know a lot of cartoons out there right now, but you look at it and you're like, that is so dumb. But come on, like, look back at the cartoons we watched in the 90s. How dumb are those? Like, do you know what
I remember Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy's good though.
Yeah.
It's a good.
Or like Cat Dog. You know what I mean? We grew up watching
How did they poop?
You know, yeah. Well, nobody
How
knows.
did they poop?
Not at all.
Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They just sweat it out.
Like, listen to the term. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Checks out. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? But if you were to come out with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles right now, it would be super... It would have been crushed.
So, like, if no one even heard about it?
Yeah, it would have been crushed. Do I know why? I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know if it's just people being overly strict on movies, or if it's a culmination of all that, or all the medias you can see, entertainment on Netflix, movies. If it's all of that together, it's really hard to get some of those things out.
I think it's social media too. I think it's they're afraid of like getting backlash for releasing something that's unheard of. You know, they don't want negative, even though negative feedback is still positive feedback in a way because you're still getting looked at. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants, because then the trolls come, and then Reddit fires, and all this crazy shit happens, and then your fucking world is turned upside down, and you can't like
still blame Reddit and like the internet backlash for Batman vs Superman.
So imagine if you were going to create a movie right now. Imagine you were going to create a movie right now.
Let's do that.
In
Let's
2014,
create a movie right now.
Sorry, it's the year 2017. I don't know why I said 2014. But if you were going to make a movie right now, and you can go, hey, you have two options, Brogan. You're a director or a writer. You have two options. You can either make a Superman movie, a tried and true Superman movie everybody loves, everybody knows. Or you can create something